So this is Robin, Wendy Perry, and Wendy, I see that you're wearing a Cynthia Terry conservative Republican for judge. Why are you supporting her?
Well, I'm supporting Cynthia for a lot of reasons. I do believe that she'll bring integrity to the 325th Family District Court. She has a history of acting with integrity, and that's very important to have that history. She herself is a successful co-parent, and to understand about co-parenting and to understand about the importance of family bonds is incredibly important for a family court judge.
Okay. It kind of sounds to me like maybe you've had a couple of experiences negative experiences that make these issues important to you. Do you want to expound on them for a moment?
Sure. I actually was a litigant in her opponent's court, Judith Wells, and unfortunately she did not follow the judicial canons of conduct. She did not act ethically, and that tore my family apart. It destroys families, and it doesn't just destroy the parents and the children that are named in the litigation, it destroys the entire family. So it hurts the other siblings that might not be in the litigation because maybe they're older. It hurts grandparents, it hurts aunts, uncles, close friends of the family. So, it impacts the entire family, not just the people that are in litigation.
So what I also heard as well is that it's not just been a single ethical lapse that has taken place in Miss Wells' court.
Well, Cynthia Terry represents a sense of honor that is totally missing from the 325th Family Court, period.
Okay.
There is no sense of honor there. We need to bring that honor and fair play into that court, and Cynthia is the one to bring it.
Okay, so let me ask another question, because the first time that I ever heard about her opponent, and I'll mention her by name, Judith Wells, is through the documentary Divorced Corp.
Yes.
And you were featured in that. Divorced Corp just rocked my world. I couldn't watch the entire thing in one sitting. It took me several times, but you were one of the main characters.
Yes.
And evidently it appeared that it was such an egregious case that the film producer, Sorge, sought you out.
Yes.
And she was mentioned by name in that movie, if I remember. So tell me a little bit more about that, because it's more than just theoretical for you. It's personal.
Right. It's personal. It's important facts that voters need to know.
Okay.
And so I think that the history of the judicial candidates, it's not negative. It's not mudslinging. When you share important facts that voters need to know to make an informed decision. So my case was so unethical. There was so much judicial misconduct that when the makers of the documentary Divorced Corp were researching and Googling, looking for cases that involved judicial misconduct, my case kept coming up at the very top of their search.
Really?
And so they contacted me and said, we're making a documentary, we need to talk to you about what happened in your case.
Wow, that's amazing. And did you and Rob know each other at the time? Or?
We did not know each other.
Okay.
No, we met after Divorced Corp came out just a few years ago.
Okay.
And she had asked me if I had Googled her, and I was like, why should I Google you? And eventually I did Google her, and she asked me if I'd watched Divorced Corp. I hadn't watched it for a while. Then one night, before we were married, she was at work and I was at home, and I watched it, and I have to say it made me very angry. I texted her that I wanted to personally hurt people. So, yeah, it was not good.
No, I mean, like I said, I could not watch it. My blood would boil.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I felt like. I could watch about 5 minutes at a time, and then I'd just be so angry that I had to put it on pause.
Yes.
I think after watching it a couple of times, I've been able to, the shock factor is gone, but it still makes you just upset and sick.
It's insane that somebody that you elect to a public position like that, a position of authority, would just totally throw all the rules, all honor, everything all common sense out the window.
Yeah.
I mean, the malfeasance is just extraordinary.
Yeah.
What happened with that. And so, yeah, when I watched it, and I didn't know, obviously in Divorced Corp, they don't give all the facts, but as I learned more and more of the facts, I was already mad, and I became even more upset. And so that's why we're pushing and really, focusing on Cynthia Terry to replace Judith Wells and have, like I said, have a sense of honor back in the 325th district.
So, and it sounds like when I've talked with Cynthia Terry, she does have, as you mentioned, some of this experience, this background,
Yes.
to help make it work better.
Yes.
And
well, she has one thing that I want to say that I think is really important for people to know is, it's not about being anti one candidate. It's about being pro the right person for the job.
Right.
So I think some people assume that I'm pro Cynthia just because I'm anti Judith Wells, and that's not the case. I'm pro Cynthia because I've sat and spoken with her, and I know she's the right person for the job.
yeah, you did have a special meeting with her, right?
It's really important to vote for people that are right for the job in their own right, and I know that Cynthia is. I really talked to her at length, and I asked her some very tough questions.
Right.
And the good thing about Cynthia also is I think this is starting a movement to get in the right people and get corruption out of the Tarrant County family courts.
Yeah.
And hopefully it snowballs into the state of Texas and then across the nation. Just get rid of the corrupt politicians, get rid of the crooked politicians, put in the right people, people who are honorable, people who care, people who are pro-family. And that's what needs to happen. I think this is the starting point for that with Cynthia.
Okay, so Rob, now let me ask you, you're also doing a documentary as
Yes.
well. How is that going right now? And
It's coming along great, working on the editing, trying to get all the editing finalized. And then Wendy and I are working on a storyboard, are going to be working on a storyboard to get all that done. Knock on wood, hopefully out this fall at the latest.
You didn't knock on my head, did you?
no, he knocked on his head. I was like, wait a minute, don't do that.
But unfortunately, there were some technical difficulties with Adobe, and then some time issues, and then unfortunately, life got in the way.
Yeah.
But we are working on that. We're trying to get that finished. That's very much a priority one for me. We need to get that out because I think it's going to be extremely educational, and we've got some plans with it. So
Jeff,
we're very excited.
Can I interject something
Absolutely.
here?
Sure.
I want to share that we've been to a lot of these candidate forums.
Yes.
And I want to tell the voters to pay attention to what the candidates say about why they want to be a family court judge. I've heard quite a few candidates say that they want to be a family court judge because they're doing it at the request of attorneys. And I find that very
disturbing.
disturbing.
Yes.
So if you hear a candidate say, I'm running because attorneys asked me to, or if they say things like, I've been supporting all of the current judges for years, those are red flags.
Those are very big red flags.
You should have candidates who say, I want to be a family court judge because I want to help families.
Yes.
Because family bonds are important to me. I understand about the importance of family relationships. So when you have candidates who say, I'm running to help my attorney friends, or I'm running because I've always supported the current judges and I want to be a part of their group, or I'm running because I've had this job for 23 years, or I just like it. Those are not the right reasons to be a family court judge, because you're playing with people's lives. You're literally playing with people's lives in that situation.
Yeah, and so you're actually addressing another issue, I think, and that's talking about the corruption within the family law industry and the attorneys themselves. Something that really needs to be cleaned up.
Yes.
So that's what I gathered you were saying when I was listening to you. Is that correct?
Yes, and I think that we need to be very, very certain to vote for candidates who are committed to upholding the judicial canons of conduct. Those are put in place to protect the litigants.
Right.
And so that's incredibly important.
And it's interesting that you mentioned that. As you know, I have a complaint filed against a judge in Rockwall with the State Commission for Judicial Conduct. I should be hearing back, I was told, within a couple of weeks. I don't know where this thing is going to go. It was completely unethical what he did. He should be asked to either step down or whatever.
Right.
But I know that the way that the industry works, that buddies cover buddies, and I hate to say that.
They do.
But anyway.
Well, that's another thing we need to change. We need to have judges who are willing to just do the right thing and not give preferential treatment to their fellow judges or to particular attorneys.
question here, because I've talked with another judge earlier, and I mean, he's a good man, I like him, but on some issues he says, well, I can't rule from the bench. You need to go to the legislature, which is true. He does need to go to the legislature, but sometimes it almost seems to me a little bit like some judges are hiding behind the family code. And I understand what you're saying. They can't rule from the bench. They can't be activist judges. But at the same time, there are things that they're doing that are destroying families, and even though it's legal, it's wrong. What kind of advice do you have as far as addressing that issue? Do you have any advice at all? Or?
Well, I've heard some talk about people saying that some candidates are activists, and they're trying to make that sound negative.
Right.
And I think what some of these judges who want to come in and bring much needed reformation and integrity to the family courts, what they want to do is just make it a culture of integrity, really.
Right.
And so I think a lot of them are committed to learning about family dynamics, learning about ethics, and I do believe they want to follow the family code. So, I hope to not see people twisting that too much.
Yeah.
That they want to be educated and to start doing the right thing for the family.
Yeah. By the way, it's something that you may be interested in. There is a forum next Friday that I was invited to videotape. That's going to be a lady who's dealing with parental alienation. We'll be addressing attorneys and judges. And for some reason, last year somebody pegged me in this and didn't go through last year, but it's coming through this year, so I'll be down there on Friday to record it. So anyway, thank you. Well, I'm sorry?
Very important.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for talking with me and for your support for Cynthia Terry. Appreciate you giving us the reasons why.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye now.